And this is overtime here on OSN after the Ottawa Senators with a 4-1 victory over the Calgary Flames. Welcome to it, Lee Versagen. Look who's back. Mood lighting and all. Z Gibbon, Zachary McGibbon, the Z-bomb.
Ooh.
You like that, eh?
A Z-bomb.
Hold on. What? Is my mood lighting better here? Is that better?
Well, that's an interesting lighting that you've got going over there.
So interesting is not good. Okay. That's very bright.
That's bright.
Okay. I'm just trying to match your energy. Okay. I'll just do this. You know why? Because people are excited. The Senators, Zach, they're 4 points out of a playoff spot. Let's go.
Get fired up.
Okay. No, I
How
am
about that?
fired up. Zach, let's go. I got the WWE Women's SmackDown Championship from, I don't know, years ago.
Well, I know you're known to layeth the smacketh down on people whenever you have the opportunity. So it makes sense that you would get the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Right. Like, let's go. This is what the Senators are going to get. Zach, 4-1. The Ottawa Senators beat the Calgary Flames. There was not one time, even with the Calgary Flames leading, there was not one time in this game that I thought Ottawa was losing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first period was a little bit slower than I thought it was going to be from Ottawa, especially the first 5 to 10-ish minutes. But they started to turn it on in the second half of that period, and then that second period was just they just took over. Quite frankly, some of the stops that Cooley made, like I'm surprised. I mean, you're putting the title belt on your shoulder. I think Devin Cooley needs to put something on his shoulder. The amount of time he saved the puck with his shoulder tonight,
or his head,
man.
Yeah,
or his head.
Devin Cooley was the best player on the ice, and the Flames lost 4-1 tonight.
Yeah,
so
probably could have been more the way that the Sens were coming at Devin Cooley. So
yes, absolutely. A dominant performance. And one of the things I liked was that the goal that they gave up was ridiculous. Like Tim Stützle, in one of my group chats, there's a famous saying, and I was there for this. Pat Quinn, we dick around.
Yes.
And Tim Stützle was dicking around in his own end, or in the neutral zone, pardon me, just putting together his own highlight pack, I think, and then gave the puck up, and then Ottawa in their own zone, and Jensen's trying to box a guy out when it's like, just clear the puck, Nick. Just clear the puck. That's it. No, I'm going to box him out, but then I'm not going to actually box him out, and they're down 1-0. I'm like, oh my God. Like, but one of the things I said that I liked, I love this about Tim Stützle. Tim Stützle, I would love for him, not for a mistake to go like into the net necessarily, but I want that guy to make a mistake early in a hockey game, because after he makes a mistake, oh my God, he is the best player on the ice.
Is he ever? That I'm just stunned he didn't finish on that goal, but man, where he was taking it from the wing and then just hit it to himself is like, all right, I'm going to go to the backhand now. Like, if he finished on that, that's a goal of the year contender. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe he couldn't finish on that. And then there was the other one a little bit later in the period where he was hovering around the corner there, and Cooley had to like keep his legs tight to the post, and it took an odd bounce. And again, another stop from Cooley, but boy, Tim Stützle had himself a night. He was out there.
He's just dominant.
It's like, just unbelievable. The way that the speed that he comes into going to the boards as well, trying to get after the puck. And oh man, like I thought he was easily the best player on the ice tonight. Just the way that he was flying around and making up for that first goal that was let in by from the Calgary goal. I mean, he was just all over the ice, and he continues his point streak. Now he's at 11 games for a point streak. Granted, it was an empty net goal, but the way that he played tonight, he deserved that empty netter. The way that he was
for sure. And that's where you want to reward guys, right? Because they are the best player on the ice. 22 and a half minutes tonight, 5 shots on goal, 12 shot attempts, 12 from Tim Stützle tonight. He also took 6 draws and won 3 of them as well. But as the game was going along, I think that's like Calgary, when they got power plays, like even at the end, our good friend Ben Sublier was over watching the game. He's like, well, he's a big fan. Like, Ottawa's going to take a penalty and then they're going to get scored on. And I'm telling you now. And then, of course, Zub takes the penalty with 4 minutes to go. I said, Ben, they won't even get a shot on goal. Like, I'm telling you, this is one of the worst power plays. They make Ottawa's penalty killing look like the New Jersey Devils in 1995.
Right.
Like, insane. They are so bad. And then they pulled the goalie, which I thought they should have actually beforehand when they had real control of the puck to make it 6-on-4, because 5-on-4, they weren't doing anything.
No.
So make it 6-on-4, but then they pulled the goalie at the wrong time, and then Sutta just scored, and that was it.
Yep. And Pinto got an empty netter too later on, and it was on the power play, and usually the penalty killing for the Sens has not exactly been high bar. No. But tonight, it just, like you mentioned, like you've modified my This Is Wrestling bit and mentioned the 1995 New Jersey Devils when it came to the penalty killing. So well done.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good. I noticed that right away. But
gotta take your bits and make them a little bit better.
Yeah, turn them into hockey. Like, I can't go out there and mention Japanese wrestlers, so I'm kind of stuck. My hands are tied here.
Listen, if your 1982 Quebec Nordique game was any good, then you'd be right there. But I don't think it is. It's not quite your Japanese wrestling.
No.
But Tanner's in, and I love the fact that he was like, Mr. Cooley, I was not familiar with your game. Oh, this is OSN account.
Whoops.
Says, well, wrong account.
Yeah. Shockmaster-like entry into the chat room right now.
That is Shockmaster tripping over and saying Timmy's a superstar. Yeah.
Yeah. With the umlaut in there.
I mean, that's. But this was a game now. I think people are going to take tonight's game and they're going to go into tomorrow. And of course, the news that Warren Foegele is now an Ottawa Senator. What did you think of the deal that sent? I'm not even going to get into the conditions of the 3rd round picks that are going back and forth. Each team
it's
gave
rather
each other.
Simply, like it's if this happens, then this happens. But if that doesn't happen, then this other thing happens. It's quite simple, really.
That's actually for both teams too. Like both teams, there's like 3 things that have to happen. I'm like, okay, they gave each other 3rd round picks, and like at some point we'll just tell you where those picks are. we'll just figure that out at the end of the year. But really, it's a 2nd round pick for Warren Foegele. And then right as the game was starting, David Perron goes to the Detroit Red Wings for, again, this one you have to explain a little bit because it's a conditional 4th. But if David Perron plays a game before the end of the regular season and then plays 50% of the games in the playoffs and they win the 1st round, which I know seems like a lot, but it's really not, because they wouldn't have traded for a guy that's skating already for him not to play 1 regular season game. And if he's healthy, he will play 50% of the games in the playoffs.
Yes.
So it's just whether they win or not to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that known playoff performer David Perron will play in the playoffs for the Detroit
Right, you think? After they traded?
Pretty confident on this one. I'm pretty confident he'll play at least 50% of the games for the Detroit Red Wings. So,
yeah, and it's just a bit of a backup plan in case he doesn't. But so really, the thing you need to concern yourself with if you're a Sens fan is like if Detroit wins the 1st round, then you get a 3rd.
Yeah,
and if they don't, you get a 4th. That's
pretty much.
That's pretty much what. So, your thoughts on Warren Foegele in, David Perron out, and you basically downgrade a round or 2 in the draft by shipping Perron out and bringing Foegele in.
Yeah, when Foegele came in, the production wasn't there from this time from the Oilers. It's been very funny to hear the analysis. Like, when he was with the Oilers, he was a 20 goal scorer. It's like, but we acquired him from the Kings. Like, that's not where he got him from. He's played for the Kings and he's been benched the last couple of games. And I think he's got 5 goals or something like that so far this year. Not trending towards the 24 goal season he had a few years ago. So, but there are other elements to his game that I kind of like. Like we talked about penalty killing earlier and how much that kind of needed to improve for the Sens. And he's known as a strong penalty killer. He's a much quicker skater. On paper, I mean, you look at it like Perron, 37, more expensive contract, unrestricted free agent. You're able to get him out in a separate trade to Detroit. You're bringing in a guy like Fogle, 29 years old, less of a yearly contract, and then you still have him for next year.
Oh, 500,000 cheaper than Perron.
Yeah,
like, but I mean, Perron's done at the end of this year, so
yeah,
next year it's about 500,000 if you had the same type of player. And he is 29 compared to David Perron, who's 38. So you're talking about a big age difference there.
Yep.
I always thought that this was like, my initial reaction was, this is a good deal for a decent player going into next year. I don't think it helps you very much this year, considering the rest of what you might need, but it's a decent deal for next year.
It was a blow-away for me, but that's kind of been the thing with Staios the last little bit. It's like, there's not been that real big wow deal. There's been a lot of like, all right, that's a nice little piece of business that they were able to do for depth purposes. One of the things too, I mean, Perron didn't really play that much for the Sens. He got injured a lot. I mean, he was injured getting traded to the Red Wings. And so you're hoping that with Fogle, he can be somebody that can be a little bit more stable and can hopefully with a change of scenery, get back to some sort of level of production that we saw before LA. So there is that aspect. There are things I like about that trade. I don't know if I love it second round, but it's one of those deals. You've seen some of the trades that have been going around. It seemed like that was the way it was going to go. That would be a little bit of a higher draft pick. So I don't mind the trade, on paper. And I think Fogle, we'll see how he meshes. I think he's immediately going to go on that third line there and be on that line with Pinto, and we'll see how he does.
Ginger beard representation with McLovin. We should be fired up, Zach, says Tanner.
That's right. I love me some ginger beard representation.
Well, I got the Markham connection.
That's right.
With Warren Fogle. Like, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good for Ottawa. So they do make some moves today. Do you think at all that because of the result, regardless of how they got there, they beat Calgary tonight?
Yep.
Boston got crushed. They lost 6-3 eventually, but that game was not close in the second.
It was like 5-1 at one point, right?
5-1 Nashville. Yeah. So the Ottawa Senators are 4 points back of the Boston Bruins and have played the same amount of games as Boston has as well. So right now, the Boston Bruins with 73 points, Ottawa with 69 points. They've both played 61 games, which means they have 21 games left. Feels more doable now than it did at any point to me. Not because they're 4 points back, but because of how well they're playing.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree. There's a lot more optimism I've sensed from Sens fans ever since the end of the game and seeing how Boston did. There's certainly a lot more optimism, like, oh, it's within striking distance. And like, again, I've been saying the last little bit, like, I think this is a good hockey team still, and they are performing well to that standard. I think you roll with it, and I've been saying try and find. I don't say swing hard unless I was somebody that was banging the drum a little bit more than others on Mackenzie Weegar, but obviously we saw him go to Utah, and I saw that return for Weegar. I'm like, right. That's a little too much. I like him, but that's a lot to bring him in. Like,
so you would not have paid that price?
For no, not that extensive. I thought there might have been a way to get him in. Because to me, for me, the priority, and I know goaltending has been talked about a lot, but you see the style of play that the Sens go out there with. Mm-hmm. They don't really give Ullmark a lot of opportunities to have these high risk shots. We saw it in the Calgary game tonight, and I think they look at that and they said, you know what, like, I think the need right now is if they can get some sort of right shot defenseman in the top 4. I know with the assets they have right now, it might be tough to come in, and there's been a bunch of player movement already. And I if they're able to get some form of stability in the right shot defenseman departments somehow, some way, I think that's an immediate upgrade over Jensen, because Jensen, that goal that was let in, the way that he just left, and he was trying to go after his man and box out, but he didn't box out, as he mentioned, and then he just kind of let him skate by. I'm like, well, commit to the play or don't. Like,
right?
What are you doing? So to me, if they're able to get some sort of a defenseman out of the deadline that you can throw right in there, and you can have Jensen be like a rotating bottom pair defenseman, I think the Sens are a well-built team and can at least challenge for that playoff spot as we're speaking today. So I think that should be the target. I think they should still try and buy heading into the deadline tomorrow.
So for Ottawa, we know that they're in Seattle coming up on Saturday night, and then they're in Vancouver on Monday night before coming home to face the Montreal Canadiens on Wednesday. So those are Sens' next 3 games. For the Boston Bruins, they are home to Washington at 12:30 on Saturday afternoon. A far cry from the 10 p.m. start in Seattle, I might add.
Yes.
But then Sunday, they're in Pittsburgh, kind of an odd 4:30 Sunday afternoon start in Pittsburgh. So I'm telling you this because the Boston Bruins have a lot of games coming up in a short amount of time. From when they play Washington on Saturday through to the next Tuesday. So I guess that is what, 11 days. They play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in 11 days. The Boston Bruins do. I wouldn't say the teams are like crazy good. They play Washington twice. They got Pittsburgh, they got LA, San Jose, New Jersey, Montreal. So it's not like it's murderer's row. But at the same time, 7 games, 11 days is a tough sked. And every team is, got this kind of thing going on. I get it. But Ottawa does have 4 back-to-backs in the month of March, which I think is interesting. But they don't play nearly that much coming up. I think they have 2 less games in that same amount of time than Boston does. And they're home. They got, Anaheim and San Jose at home next weekend. And I think that those games always trend. You talk all the time with my boy on Blue Collar Sports. Give it a plug, Zach. Your real podcast. Give it a plug.
All right. Blue Collar Sports. Host it with Stefan Paulson, former professional wrestler, Savage Paulson. And we go through a whole bunch of different topics.
Yeah, usually all catered to you, by the way. Like, I see poor Stefan, like, drives me crazy. Blue Collar Sports coming up with Zach McGibbon. Here's the lineup, and it's like the Senators, the Cowboys, WWE. I'm like, what? Come on.
He just shows me the lineup. He's like, this is what we're talking about. It's like, all right.
Yeah, you talk about pandering to your guests. But the point is next weekend they play Anaheim and San Jose at home. They have a 1:00 start on a Saturday afternoon next Saturday. For the Anaheim Ducks, that's a 10 a.m. start. And Western teams that come east that play early do not do very well. Usually.
Yeah.
Tanner's in with the Tankathon's remaining strength of schedule. Boston at 4, Ottawa at 12. They had it on the broadcast. I'm not sure whose categories they were using. It wasn't Tankathon, but they had Boston at 5 and Ottawa at 16. So,
doable.
I mean, you can talk about strength of schedule, but to me, it's about where those teams are at when you play them. Like looking at, for the Ottawa Senators, you look at like 4 of their last 5 games that they played, in Tampa, or they play at home to Tampa, home to Carolina in the last week of the season. Most teams might be home and cooled out and just, taking it easy.
Yep.
To get into the playoffs. So you can't really judge it at that point. I can tell you, though, the Sens, man, they play 3 of their last 4 games are against Florida, Jersey, and Toronto, who will be nowhere close to anything other than the flight out for the rest of their summer holidays.
Right.
So can you imagine that the season comes down on Wednesday, April 15th to Ottawa against a team in Toronto that is not going to make the playoffs and are going to be super bad, and Toronto somehow wins that game? That would be terrible.
Oh, well, now that you've thrown it out in the universe, it's going to happen now.
No, what's going to happen is Ottawa will be home and cooled at that point.
There you go.
This is a good suggestion, I thought. I looked into this player a little bit. Tanner says, said on the pregame, this is the pregame show. Mm-hmm. Tanner, that's what it's called. Call Nashville about Nick Perbix. And he is playing in their second pair right now. Unrestricted at the end of the year. I mean, this is a guy that you might be able to get for relatively cheap and maybe have a chance to sign. So, yeah, you'd be targeting players like that.
Yeah.
Can they do it, Zach? I mean, I feel like it's Boston or nothing, but I mean, I guess we could have a conversation about bringing the Montreal Canadiens back into play here. 75 points. Montreal has a game in hand now on both Boston and Ottawa, but Ottawa at least plays Montreal to bring them back. They don't play Boston anymore this year.
Right. Yeah, and that makes it tough in terms of their quest to get over top of Boston in the rankings. I mean, the next couple of weeks, I mean, I feel like we say this with a lot of these games, but this is just one of those scenarios where, I look at that strength of schedule and I'm like, this is doable for the Sens. And we'll see what Boston does. Obviously, they lost tonight. We'll see if that is the start of a pattern for them for the next little bit. But we've seen what Ottawa has been able to do last little bit. And, knock on wood, no signs of slowing down right now. I mean, Dylan Cousins has been playing really well. Got another goal tonight on the power play.
How could Calgary leave him that open?
I know.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, tie game, third period. You've already taken the penalty and killed it off, and you leave Dylan Cousins like that all by himself? That's crazy.
Yeah. I have this theory that I think the Calgary Flames are not a very good hockey team.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's why
I watched them, and it's not a theory. So
they didn't practice. I thought this was an interesting stat. I saw that Alex Adams from Sportsnet tweeted out that as an Ottawa Senator, Dylan Cousins has 15 power play goals in 82 games.
Okay, can I stop you? Can I stop you? Sure. So what I'm going to do, this is just me like being that guy, and it's late at night, so I can be.
Yeah. I'm used to it at this point, so go on ahead.
Don't be like that. Don't like this is Lee does this all the time. No, don't be like that.
I'm just telling you.
So nothing drives me crazy. Nothing, and this isn't necessarily a shot at Alex, but they just put that stat up on the game on TSN. Okay, like so when you're watching the game, they put up the stat that Dylan Cousins got 15 power play goals already in his career as a Senator, and has 20 whatever. So you put it up on the TSN stat, and Alex Adams is tweeting it out of Sportsnet like it's his own. I am not going to let you do that, though. I'm not going to let you give credit. Okay.
All right.
Zach, just say it yourself. Like if it's up on the broadcast, you don't. If you want to say TSN because they had the broadcast, that's fine. Yeah. Hockey Night in Canada has a broadcast and they tell you something, then that's fine. But don't be giving Alex Adams credit for copying off the television. Then you're giving him credit. Give me a break. Do your own work.
this is the journalism side of me, the news reporter side of me. It's like, I got to give credit. I saw it somewhere else. I have to give credit.
No, you don't, because I watched it on TV too, and I know that Alex didn't have the stat before they put it up on TV. So Alex, you're not getting credit here. You understand? Give me a break. Do your own work.
So I cited on the TSN broadcast.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Dylan Cousins had 15 power play goals in 82 games as an Ottawa Center. He had 12 power play goals in 341 games in Buffalo. So that's a wild stat. Showed how good Buffalo was last couple of years.
Zach's used to the abuse. That's sad. Hashtag free Hornswoggle from Ethan. First of all, Ethan said he was going to bed and was not going to participate in this post-game show. This is overtime. He said he would not be here. Second of all, Ethan, you have no idea whether Zach takes abuse because you don't listen to This Is Wrestling. So
he did message me a few weeks back saying he enjoyed the episode. I don't know if he listened to the recent episode about elimination.
That's because somebody told him you talked about Roman Reigns for 5 seconds.
Oh, that's true. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, you know, it was funny. He said, he told me, and I think it's okay if I reveal our conversation here, Ethan, but Ethan said, I liked how like impartial you guys were to WWE and how you broke it down. This was before the PLE. And I said, Ethan, give it a few more weeks and there's going to be something that we say.
No, like we try. It just, we
do try.
It's like with Ethan, I
try. When there's 4 games.
It's the same thing. When Ethan texts something into the show that's good, I try. He texted into the pregame show, trade Ridley Gregg for a backup goalie.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, like what? Go to bed, Ethan. But no, I'm giving him another chance, right?
Yep.
You have to give people chances. Tanner says Dylan Cousins has as many goals as the Senators. Josh Norris has games played as a Sabre.
Now that's a stat too.
I don't think that's actually true. Is that actually true?
I could believe it. If you told me that was a legitimate fact, I would tell you.
It feels like he's kind of exaggerated that one. So let's get back to the standings. So everyone's focused on the Boston Bruins. I think it's just very difficult to understand how it's all going to work, right? Like one of the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Washington Capitals, I guess you could include Philadelphia because Capitals have played 63 games. Like they only have 19 left. And some teams have 22 left, like Montreal. So, but one of those teams isn't going to get up. Like Pittsburgh's got 75 points. The Islanders have 75 points. Columbus has got 72, but they have a game in hand on the Islanders. Washington is there. So one of those teams are not going to make it into the Metro, and they are going to be in this wild card chase.
Yeah.
And so while the focus is on the Boston Bruins because they're in the division and they're the team that you can catch, there's kind of the muddy waters now of Ottawa having to deal with one of these teams or maybe two of these teams that are going to fall right in this kind of murky window that, you're chasing Boston the whole time. You're like, what? We got to beat Columbus now? Like,
yeah. And Columbus has been good recently. Their only regulation loss since coming out of the break was against Boston. So, and they had an overtime loss to the Islanders after that, but ever since they've won 3 straight games.
Well, they're 8-1-1 in their last 10.
Yeah. Like they've looked really, really good.
Columbus is like Ottawa now. They're just a really good team. Is it too late for them? Because it just took them too long to get there, right? But that's the problem of letting points go when people say it all the time, and they kind of throw it out there like, oh, points are just as valuable in October and November, but they are, because teams that play really, really well right now just have such a difficult time making up the ground. Sorry, just looking at
you seen that Connor Garland news as we're just talking about Columbus traded to the Blue Jackets, Elliot Friedman.
Tanner giving us that Columbus acquiring Connor Garland.
Yep.
Do we know the return?
No, it literally just got tweeted as we were talking like a minute ago. So I'm fascinated what the return is on that. But that's another team that's kind of buying a little bit to try and get into a position. Tanner Ryle, like, doesn't matter on the show, off the show, in the chat room. I mean, he is on it.
Well, he is. It's perfect for him, right? Like,
yes, doing the Alex Adams method of seeing what somebody else had posted and then taking credit for it in the chat room.
You're not giving Alex Adams credit on this show for something he didn't do. Okay. That is not happening. But I think I always love going back, and I've done this a lot on the show, of like, how have teams played in the last little while. So we talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets. Since January the 15th, the Columbus Blue Jackets are 12-2-1 and have the second, like, they're winning 83% of their games since January 15th. And I know there's a Olympic break of 3 weeks. I get it, but you know, we're heading into the second week of March. Who's right behind them? The Sabres, the Penguins, the Bruins. So that's why it's going to be difficult to catch teams. Ethan, the roller coaster of Fink, says, I will say I liked Allmark's game tonight. I think Zach liked that. The roller coaster of Fink.
That was good. I wasn't expecting that.
Made some great saves, stayed with it. I think the thing he did really well was controlled his rebounds. Cooley was a better goalie, though, 100%. Yes. Yeah, Cooley had to be the better goalie.
Yeah, he had no
choice. The thing that Ottawa is doing, which is crazy to me, is that they're almost making their goaltender irrelevant in the game. They're so good in front of them, right? Unless it's a couple of good saves here and there. And yeah, he wasn't bad tonight. But he's got to be brilliant down the stretch. I mean, they can't be giving points up to Edmonton and Detroit. I honestly think they should be 4-0. They've played well enough to be 4-0 since the break. They were way better than Detroit that night, the first game back, and they lost that game in overtime. And then they lost to the Oilers after blowing a 4-2 lead and leading that game with a minute and a half to go.
Yep.
Ethan also says the season interesting because it's been so close. Begs the question, what will next season be like if all these teams who get hot late stay this good all of next season? The East is crazy. Well, the good news is, Ethan, is that on March what day is it today, Zach?
Today now is the 6th, but yesterday it was the 5th.
Yeah, but we're into the 6th.
Yes.
So the good news, Ethan, is next March the 6th, we will not be talking about the exact same teams with the exact same scenarios, and they won't be just as good.
We'll do the exact same post-game show, beat for beat.
That's why teams play seasons, because the ups and downs are almost as much as the ones that go on in your brain. Almost. But the Scorpions, Zach. The Scorpions. The winds of change.
There you go.
The Columbus Blue Jackets, the Buffalo Sabres. These are good hockey teams now. They're not just the bottom feeders that are getting hot for a couple of weeks. They're just really good teams.
You might say taking on the Scorpions moniker, it's kind of a zoo out there.
Oh, see, that's not as good as mine, but not bad.
No, well, especially look, I have to play off of it.
Scorpions is a tough pull. They don't have that many.
No. Usually it's winds of change when you talk about the Scorpions.
That's why if you get to one, you got to get to it early like that. Tanner saying Garland return a second and a third. Seems a bit pricey again.
Yeah,
but again, we always talk about it, right? That, second and third and it's pricey. But then you go to the drafts and you look at the actual second and third round picks and you're like, it probably wasn't pricey at all.
No. We never see that player for like 3 years. So if we see him at all.
If you see him at all.
Right.
Now, if you're a really good drafting team, then they're obviously more valuable to you.
Yep.
But this just in, Zach. Not every team's a great drafting team.
Mm.
So let's talk again about what you would like to see before 3:00 tomorrow afternoon. I would like to see another goalie here. I don't. It doesn't have to be. Anybody, like, it can be a backup with an expiring contract. I just want a guy here that when you have 4 back-to-back situations in March, that you're not rolling out James Reimer with like 2 points out of a playoff spot.
Yes.
You're not rolling out James Reimer.
Yeah, a backup goalie would be nice. Something to complement Allmark, because I think it's been pretty clear the last year that if he has some sort of complement and he doesn't have to take on so much of the load as a primary number 1 goaltender, I think he's not as rattled in the net and feeling like he has the world on his shoulders, because especially with the way that the goaltenders are looking behind him with the James Reimer, as you mentioned, we saw the stint with Marilainen when he came up, and Sogard, and it's just tough. So I would also like to see a goaltender. I would not be shocked if they make no moves to go get a goaltender, though. They already made the move to acquire Reimer, and they might see that as enough to get them through for the rest of the year.
The move to acquire Reimer? What exactly did they give up to acquire James Reimer?
Okay, well, hold on.
The guy was sitting on his couch like me and you. What do you mean they made the move to
signed
acquire
a contract? He was brought into the organization. Am I not incorrect here? Like, he technically was acquired. We didn't have to give up anything for him, just some cap space.
Who's we?
Darn, I got caught in the.
No, you said it before and I didn't. I was like, Tanner's listening, and I hope Tanner's going crazy that Zach said it and I didn't correct him.
He's doing the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like on the couch and pointing at this TV. He's like, oh, wait a minute.
What? What?
Wait a minute.
However, I'm not going to let you say that twice.
Yes. Fair enough. You got to call me on that. But if I'm going to go in the chat and I'm going to, shoot missiles or whatnot about it, you have the
ability. And Tanner are competing for keyboard warrior champion. Right? Ethan's not in contention for that, but you and Tanner are.
Well, so, Ethan's already said he's off to bed, so
we'll miss you. We'll miss you, Ethan. I mean that. He brings a different element to the show.
That's really nice phrasing.
Whether that's good or bad, like he brings a different element than others do, and we need variety, Zach. We need.
I totally agree with that.
Everybody can't be the same. So,
right.
I guess I would put into your brain that Ottawa has coming up. So next weekend, as we sit here, kind of on Thursday night, Friday morning. So in 8 days, they play back-to-back. They play Anaheim and San Jose. And then later on that week, they play at Washington and then home to the Islanders Wednesday, Thursday. They have, how about this, Zach? They have back-to-backs.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
We're going to take it back-to-back, and we're going to make it even more of a back-to-back. It's like Exhibit Pimp My Ride sort of deal going on in the NHL schedule.
I need to get the music going.
Yes.
And just be playing tunes.
I heard you like playing hockey games, so we gave you a back-to-back on top of your back-to-back.
That's right. So they have back-to-backs coming up. Incredible, right? But you're telling me that Linus Ullmark is going to play all of those games? All of them?
Oh, God, no.
Right. And so now they're going to be 1 point out of a playoff spot, and James Reimer is going to come in the net. And they, Zach, didn't have to pay anything to acquire James Reimer. So if they want to go out and get a guy that might be a little bit more capable of winning a hockey game, or at least instilling the confidence, because this is, to me, what it really is, to be somewhat serious.
Yep.
Lance Storm, can I be
Very
serious
nice.
for a minute?
Past This Is Wrestling guest, Lance Storm.
Oh, so good, Lance
Yes.
Storm. If you're legit thinking that you're going to get there, the team, when they roll out in one of those games, there's no way they can believe that James Reimer is the best possible way to win the hockey game. Whether you think it or I think it, or like, don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah.
There's no way the guys on the ice think this is the best case scenario.
No.
And so after that Montreal game on Wednesday, it's back to back, back to back. So I'm going to love saying that. Feels like Chris Berman.
Yeah.
Back. The home run derby.
Very nice.
It's just not an easy schedule for anybody with this condensed stuff. But like after that, they play one game against Toronto. And then they have another back-to-back. Zach, they have back-to-back, play a one-off, and then have a back-to-back. That's 3 back-to-backs in 7 games.
Well, baseball season is coming up, so I think they're just prepping for baseball season.
Now here we go. Now Tanner is bringing things here. It's banger after banger after banger.
Yes.
Shout
out Seamus.
I could say it in an Irish accent. It's banger after banger after banger. But that
those are Irish demographic.
Well, it's because on my previous gig, they would make fun of me that I would actually sound a little bit Irish when I was not trying to. Like I would ask that kind of question in a, is that Tanner Ryle? And I would, is that Tanner Ryle?
The connotation of your voice is what you're saying.
Is that Tanner Ryle? But I wouldn't do it on purpose. And then I'm like, are you doing an Irish accent? I'm like, no.
And yet I'm the one that gets the hornswoggle accusations. Like, what is going on here?
It's the fact that you actually are hornswoggled. It's not an accusation.
Wow.
It's a fact. So I would like the Senators to bring in somebody that's not James Reimer or Levy Merilainen.
Yes.
Levy.
I know you like saying Lee, but you have to say Levy when it comes to Levy Merilainen.
It's a nice back-to-back, eh? Lee.
Shillelagh.
Oh, I was just watching David Finley.
Just time for St. Patrick's Day.
I was watching David Finley with the Shillelagh.
That's right.
The other day. So that's what I would like. But what would you like?
I would like a goaltender, just to be clear. I'm just looking at it as I think the Sens feel if there's a good enough deal out there. I see some of the names that Tanner has thrown out as potential goalie options, Skinner, Nedeljkovic, and Tarasov. But I think for them, if they have, I'm still leaning towards that defenseman if they can find somebody, because then I think you really got a good complete team. And I think then it just leaves to the goaltending where you it's one of those deals where I wonder if they go, okay, we've got some of these other holes filled up in terms of, you would maybe want to have more of a scoring presence in your top 6, but overall with the way the team's playing right now, you add a little bit more depth onto the defensive side, especially that right side. It's like, all right, Linus, this is your chance to kind of rise to the occasion here. I wonder if that's what they're thinking. It's like, okay, we've got everything up in front. All we need you to do is make stops, and we'll try and limit the high percentage shots on you as much as we can because of the way that team plays. But I mean, I would like to see them get a defenseman. If they get a goaltender, great. And he ends up being consistent, I think is the big thing that I'm looking for. Like all I'm asking for, and all a lot of Sens fans are asking for, is can we get a goalie? I said we again. Can the Sens get a goalie that can stop the puck 3 times? Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah. I said it. As soon as I said it, I caught myself.
You did, which is good. Tanner,
you know what we need? Like every time, and I mean we as in us, this is OSN.
Yeah.
We need to have like little shock waves so that every time, say we, when it relates to the Sens, you like press the button and then we like get shocked. It's like, oh, can't do that.
Yeah. No, I don't know what that would be. I certainly am not going to give you applause.
Well, that sound effect's perfect for this time of the day.
Especially when you make jokes. Okay, I will get the shockwave, the taser.
Yeah. I was like, darn.
But Bill Goldberg losing the streak.
Yes. Get the cattle
teaser.
prod out.
The cattle prod.
Yes.
That's the word I was looking for. The cattle prod. I'll get that out. We could probably use something with like shock the system with the Undisputed Era. Right? Something to shock the system. Like,
but could that be like encouraging that more? Because people are like, I want to hear that song. So
I actually was just thinking I'd like to hear the song right now if I could. Tanner says, Zach, I'd be dead 3 weeks ago.
Well, that's why we're starting it now. That's why we're implementing it now. You're safe, Tanner. It's okay.
Well, yeah, because you got another guy that's saying it for you here tonight.
Yeah. Here I am, just be like, haha, look at Tanner, the way he's doing that. And then here I come in, amateur hour, just doing it 3 times. I'm blaming it on the 12:24 time here.
What are you talking about? Zach, I'm blaming it on this is when, and I tell people this all the time. This is when you're on.
Yep.
Isn't the best? People don't get that about this type of industry. This isn't a complaint at all, but it's to tell people it's not about doing it. It's about actually like being at your best. Zach, we need you to be at your best at 12:25 a.m. tonight. And then actually you're going to do the morning show tomorrow. So we need you to be at your best at 6 a.m.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like the industry. All right.
Right?
Yep.
Because other people get to roll into work. And even if they're not at their best, well, the first hour or two, they get a coffee, they pretend to open emails.
Yeah.
Not really doing a whole lot. Channel your hatred for Peter Dinklage and lock in, Zach. Lock in.
I'm not Hornswoggle. I have no strong thoughts about Peter Dinklage one way or another. I think he's a fine actor. I know why Hornswoggle is upset about Peter Dinklage, but I am not that man. Nor am I Brad Williams. Nor am I Paul Walter Hauser. Nor am I Donnie O'Sullivan on CNN.
Oh, okay.
Nor am I that guy. Remember, I think it's a year ago now that was like in front of the premiere, and it was security and people from the Bell Media building messaged me. He's like, Zach, what are you doing private security for Premier Ford? I have a lot of doppelgangers, man. It's unbelievable. I feel like if you've ever seen the Lego movie, it's the main character's name is Bob, I think, or something like that. And there's like a scene where they're trying to find his face. He's like, oh, his face is so generic, we can't match it to any other face in our database. It's just like, that's what I feel like it is for me. With all these doppelgangers.
Okay.
This is why I went into radio, Lee.
Yes, I was always told I had a face for radio. So
yeah, if we had a dime for the amount of time,
if I had a penny,
yes,
for how many times
that's right,
that has been brought up. So
you'd probably be on a beach somewhere.
Let's look at the standings, and you have the Montreal Canadiens right now in the first wild card spot. They have 75 points, but also. And they've played 60 games, so they have 22 to go. But I think it's really noteworthy here to say that the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders, second and third in the Metropolitan Division, also have 75 points. You have 3 teams right now at 75 points. Then you have Boston at 73, 2 points back. Columbus is 1 back of Boston, 3 back of those other 3 teams, and then Ottawa at 69 points, 4 points back of the Bruins, but 6 points behind a lot of teams. So this really isn't just Boston. Now, of the 6 teams, let me start with this. Do you think any of Washington, who also has 69 points, tied with the Senators, but they've played 2 more games than Ottawa, or Philadelphia, or I mean, I guess I would have to ask you about Toronto because technically they're only 4 back of Ottawa.
Yeah.
But are any of the teams below Ottawa in the standings, do you think, have the capability or will get up and be in a playoff spot at the end of the year?
I don't see it with the other teams. I'm looking through some of them you mentioned. The only one that's kind of hovering for me is maybe the Caps, but if you include, I know they have the same amount of points, but if you want to look at it from, tied or below, but I don't see the Flyers making a run. I certainly don't see the Leafs the way that they're playing. They lost again. The Rangers had their first regulation win at home for the first time this year, beating the Leafs tonight. So I
since November or the whole year?
I think since November 2025 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's the same like the Vegas Golden Knights last night or 2 nights ago. They beat Detroit.
Yeah.
And it's the first time they beat a team that's in the playoffs since November 20th. Like they're in first place in their division, really?
Somehow, some way. And look, it's that time of the year too. Mark Stone got placed on IR today.
Yeah.
So it's the season. Just ahead of the trade deadline. Always seems to happen. So it's amazing how all that works.
But they're not home and cooled at all.
No.
So everyone wants to like crap on them for doing that. They are nowhere close to home and cooled. Vegas 72, Anaheim 71, Edmonton 68. Utah's got, they're in the other division 76, but Seattle's got 67. Like they're nowhere home. Nowhere close to being home and cooled. So they want to do that. They haven't beat a playoff team since November 20th before beating Detroit the other night. Like they want to go put Mark Stone on IR. Good. I hope you miss the playoffs. No, I really do. Like I hope they do. So my question is, like, I don't think any of Washington, Philadelphia, Toronto, and below them are going to make it. So there's 6 teams for 4 spots, but Ottawa can't get into 2 of those spots. They can only get into the 2 wild card spots. Right? Like they can't get into the Metropolitan Division, but 2 of those teams are going to miss the playoffs. And I'm telling you right now, I know Boston lost tonight, but they've had a great record since January 15th. Columbus has been one of the best teams in the league. Columbus 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. Who's going to miss? And I still wonder whether it's going to be the New York Islanders. I think Pittsburgh's got something. They have a big time goal differential. They're like when I watch them play, they're incredible. But if the Islanders, like if Schaefer's not going and a couple other guys aren't going, sometimes it's tough sledding for them. This feels like an opportunity, Zach, that now they're going to make it for the Sens. Like it feels like if they don't make it, it's going to be right like on the last day, or like they're going to be in it now for the rest of the time because they can see it, they can believe it, they can know what their structure is over the last month. To me, it's just knocking on wood that guys don't get hurt and that they bring in another goalie that has a capability of winning a hockey game that's not James Reimer.
And I think that would be something for the locker room too, if they see that their GM, Steve Stais, is going out there and making moves to ensure that they get in. That can motivate the team too. So,
yeah, now most teams are going to get that. Like Columbus gets Connor Garland, right?
Yep.
Haven't seen Boston, Montreal, but I would think they are going to do something before 3:00.
Getting Russian Bobo is what I read Eric say in the chat earlier.
Yeah, I don't think even Eric believes that.
No Sergei Bobrovsky coming to Montreal.
No. And it would be awesome if he did, and then the Canadians missed the playoffs.
Yes.
So what's the Senators' biggest challenge ahead of them right now?
I think their schedule's all right. I think there's a lot of games on that schedule that they could win and keep pace in a race for that wild card spot.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing will be, I do think at the end of the day, well, I don't think Allmark has been bad the last couple of games. I don't think he was where he was at before the Olympic break. He's still somebody that you still feel an uneasiness when he's out there, right? Especially when they start like little rushes, the opposing team, they have these little rushes and they start crashing the net. You're like, oh, is Allmark gonna be there? Even that goal that was let in, like he hit it off of his blocker and then it just floated up in the air for what felt like an hour. And
yeah.
it went into the back of the net. And you're like, other goalies, man, like that would somehow, it would ricochet off of their blocker and go off in the corner or something like that. Yep. Not our goaltender.
No.
So
who's our?
Not the Sens goaltender.
Tanner, you must be having a ball just sitting back.
Yeah.
Listen, he's got his feet up going, man.
You know what I'll say? I'll say I'm quoting the Sens on this. I'll say I'm quoting the Sens on this, and that will be my escape hatch out of here.
Okay. I'm going to give you one after 3 strikes. I'm going to give you one. I'm not giving you another one.
Fair enough.
Before the end of the show, I'm going
to pretend there's like something like a little laser pointed at my forehead, so I can like be locked in, sweat a little bit as I'm like, don't say we or our or anything that's a connotation of me.
Is there anything worse as a broadcaster to get in your head? Okay, don't do this and don't do that, and you start thinking about it all the time.
It's
terrible.
Yep.
Looking at the schedule tomorrow night, not a ton that would affect the Ottawa Senators. They could use an Anaheim victory at home over the Montreal Canadiens to keep bringing Montreal back into this pack, because they do play Montreal coming up next Wednesday at home. So if you're thinking about bringing the Canadiens back to the pack, if the Canadiens lose a couple more games here, then you got them on Wednesday. I mean, there's at least some control in your hands. But Detroit at home to Florida, I don't know that Montreal and Detroit are going to come back to you. So I think you might have to pick one or the other. But it's so much fun to look at the schedule because, as Tanner was just going to say this, but Tanner says Capitals Bruins Saturday will be a big one. And it's fun to scoreboard watch at this time because I got to be honest with you. I mean, I love sports and I love the NHL, and I would rather probably sit down and watch an NFL game. Sometimes regular season hockey, like if you're flipping channels and here's Utah, Philadelphia on a Saturday afternoon in December.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm probably not watching. I'm going to find something else to watch. But when you start getting into things like this, like Washington and Boston is at 12:30 on Saturday afternoon on ABC. People can watch it. And then you get into the night games, every game, like even 5:30, Philly's at Pittsburgh on Saturday. Well, for Philly, they're trying to hang on to every second, and maybe Pittsburgh starts to fall down a little bit and they come back to the pack. They're not too far ahead. Like I said, everyone's kind of jammed at that 70, 75 points, and they're trying to pull ahead of each other. Like Columbus is at home to Utah. Utah's playing really well. They shut out Philadelphia. They've played really well over the last little bit because they're fighting for a playoff spot too. Montreal is in LA on Saturday. and you'll know the score. Like Montreal will have played a couple of times, and if they don't win those games, Ottawa is going to know that. And then Boston at Pittsburgh is a massive game on Sunday afternoon. That's a 4:30 start, which I also think is a weird time for a game. Sunday at 4:30.
Yep.
Does that feel weird?
A little odd. Usually it's like 3:30. I can understand.
Yeah, like
or even like a 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. Even 3 is fine, but 4:30 seems a little odd to me.
Yeah, because it's right near the end of the afternoon, but it's not quite the evening yet either, where they have it slotted.
You know what I'm going to say on that one? You know what? Tell me I'm wrong. It should be a segment.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah. Tell me when I'm telling lies. I might be telling one here, but we'll see. What if I told you that that game was going to be at 3:30 and they had it planned for 3:30 and then they're like, oh, that's the time change day.
Oh, okay.
We skip ahead an hour. And so you know what? We're going to keep it at what's really 3:30, but we're going to call it 4:30. So we don't confuse people. People are still on the players are still on their body clocks. Tell me I'm telling lies, Zach.
You know what? I could buy into that.
See?
I'm sure these execs are like sitting back and be like, we need to think about the circadian rhythms of our fans and how they operate with the time change. Yeah, so maybe you know what?
Maybe the players.
Yeah, well, the players, of course, yes. But what about the fans, Lee? Think about the fans. How are they going to get adjusted getting into the parking lot for their game or turning on their television set? You know what? I could buy into that.
Especially because Boston has to travel. And Pittsburgh plays at home at 5:30 on Saturday. Because of the time change, they're like, you know what? Push that game a little bit further down the road. Give them the hour back that they lost at night.
Yeah. It's like, if you're going to put us in all these back-to-back games, give us a little bit of time here with this one. I'm
going with that.
I could buy in.
Yeah.
I could buy into that.
All right. I'm not telling lies.
No, you're not telling lies. This is really not that preposterous. I do think there is some thought process behind that.
Don't say it like there never is usually.
I mean, there is, but like I look, this is one of these things. I'm giving you credit. It might be a weird way of me giving credit, but it is credit nonetheless.
And you know what? I've worked with him long enough. I know he doesn't do that very often, but there's a reason why. Zach, there's a reason why. I love this championship belt.
You were fired up with that championship belt.
Yeah, it looks good.
You've been holding it up. You've been like smacking the belts. I think you're ready for a title defense right now.
I would go.
Yeah.
Who's challenging me now? Who's got it at 12:42? And you know what, Tanner? Noted SmackDown Women's Champion Lee Versage. You just changed the Lee to Leigh. Right?
Very nice.
And what I would say, noted, I don't see any belts in your hand, Tanner. Okay? Maybe, you know what? Maybe Ben Soublier was here and he said this should be the 8-bit championship. I'm like, well, yeah, I won that. So
no, well, I'm going back and changing my name once again back to conspiracy victim after that comment.
I won that, but I actually
I won it. It's just it's part of the process, right? Like I'm fighting back on clearly being screwed over by Ben. We should have kept Ben around.
Right.
After
I'm just holding it up. I'm just holding it up to give you and Tanner a look at the fact of this is actually going to be the Wii championship.
I'm just seeing Tanner's comment here. That's good.
Well, you want me to put it up?
Yeah, put it up. Put up his recent comment.
Yeah, Walmart is closed.
We'll grab one in the morning. Get his AEW championship belt.
How about the Wii championship? Who can say the word the most? Is it you? Is it Danner? I mean, we need a belt for that, don't we?
See, that's the belt I don't want to win.
Well, that's why it's the Women's SmackDown.
Be more defenses than Jade Cargill.
Oh my God. This is wrestling, but we got a lot to talk about on This Is Wrestling, which you can find at thisisosn.com.
That's right.
By the way. Okay, so I think tonight kind of went as planned for the Ottawa Senators, where everyone kind of felt like they were going to win, even if it wasn't easy. I was never worried at all that the Ottawa Senators were going to lose tonight. No, like Calgary just showed nothing.
Yeah.
Like every power play they had, it was just ridiculous. They couldn't even get a shot on goal. They couldn't gain entry into the zone. And like, this is the 30th best penalty kill in the league. Did you see when they put that graphic up? I'm sure Alex Adams probably tweeted it out. The 30th. Oh, I popped you again, Zach.
No comment.
30th best or 30th on the power play.
Yeah.
And then the Sens were 30th on the penalty kill. And any normal broadcaster would have seen that and said like a battle of the Titans here and brought it to both. But of course it was a Sens broadcast. So they just pointed out that, you know, Calgary, not very good on the power play, 30th in the league. And like literally the number is staring at you that Ottawa's 30th on the penalty kill. Don't bring that up.
No.
Just bring up the fact
the graphic, but we won't
but
actually
just
talk about
show that Calgary is bad. No, they're both bad.
I will say though, that was Dustin Nielsen on the play-by-play tonight.
Thank God.
Yes, he was. I thought he was good.
No, Zach, I'm not even going to say the other people that have done games this year, but if you've watched TSN, you know that there's been, you know, 2 mainstays and a couple other people have done games. But when Dustin Nielsen was doing the game and they're like, oh, it's his first game and he's been 23 years in the business, but he's done CFL games. When Dustin Nielsen,
CFL guy too.
When Dustin Nielsen called the first minute, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Just a pro. Just a good pro calling the game. And this isn't to take away because I thought he did a really good job tonight. But anyone to go in there and just call a game and be decent was going to be light years ahead of the other people. I'm glad you brought that up because it was very noticeable how good he was compared to what they've had.
Yeah. He shared a really nice Twitter video too, where he was just talking about like getting prepped for this moment. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, he's ready to go. He'll be ready for this NHL game. So I thought he did good. Thought he had a good call of the game. There was a lot of elements of Jim Houston in his voice. When I was hearing him call the game, I was like, oh, is Jim Houston on the broadcast? Which is a good thing. Because I really liked his calls of the game when he called games on Sportsnet and Hockey Night. But no, not you.
See, I'm a little bit, and just to go back to this, Tanner says it's the stoppable object against the movable force, which that's one of Tanner's best. I'm telling you, as this night goes on, Zach, when we get to the next hour of this show, Tanner's going to be, Tanner's going to be on fire. He just gets better as this goes along, like late, deep into the night. He gets better and better. If we're doing next
hour, this is going to be a tough call of the Trenton Goldenhawks for me tomorrow night. So,
and that would be different. No, that's just
come
on.
First game of the playoffs tomorrow.
Against who?
The Lindsay Muskies. Unfortunately for you, Lee, the Lindsay Muskies beat out the Markham Royals to sneak into 8th in the playoffs, and the Markham Royals got eliminated.
But where are the Collingwood Blues, Zach? That's all we really need to know. Where are the Collingwood? Yeah, good.
They were second this year. They didn't end up first this year.
Okay.
Toronto Patriots were number 1, and that's a good team in Toronto. But they are in this year, and look, I heard you recently being like, oh, the Golden Hawks, they don't win their games and blah blah blah. They always lose to Collingwood, forgetting that they
I
beat
didn't
the
forget.
Menace last year in the Buckland Cup. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then they went and choked out West, right? In the big tournament.
In the Centennial semi-final.
Yeah, I remember.
You just didn't seem to bring that up though, Lee. That's why I had an issue with it. Like, oh yeah, I remembered. I didn't bring it up, but I certainly did remember it.
I didn't bring it up. I'll be the first to tell
I
you.
felt it wasn't relevant. Blah blah blah.
Not the point of the story, Zach. The point of the story is like 4 years in a row before that they lost to Collingwood every year. That's the point of the story. But Tanner just gets better as this night goes on. It's like you got to give him room to breathe. It's like give him an hour to get going.
Yeah, in the middle of the night.
Yes,
he's ready to go. He's fired up.
You got to be at your best when you're on.
Yep.
But we'll try and get you at your best with the Trenton Golden Hawks. What were we talking about though? No, but there was something salient that we were. I was going to say.
Well, we were talking about the divisions and how it was looking and how the Sens were moving forward on that, and
that wasn't it.
No,
wasn't about that.
No, we had moved on from that.
Yeah, it was something.
I know there was a question asked about what was the big concern for the Sens moving forward. And I said defenseman. I know that was before that. Yeah, and then we were talking about the next hour, and I was like, "Well, hold on there, bro."
Yeah. I guess now it's probably time to go if you can't remember.
I've activated my no movement clause on that one.
Okay, I like it. Trade deadline tomorrow. Coming up in about 14 hours from now. Excellent.
Ready for the skits on trade deadline trade center on TSN?
Zach, I'm going to make it I'm going to work really hard tomorrow to have some other things to do, to not be watching or listening or if I get some alerts, I'll check them out, but I'm not going to be watching any coverage. And at 3:00, tell me what's happened.
Yep. You don't want to see people sitting at their desk with their laptop.
I don't. No. Nope. Nope. I don't want to see the panel behind the panel behind the panel. You talk about back-to-back jacks.
That's true.
That's like you see the panel, but then you see the important panel of on when you get on TSN, like Bob McKenzie and Pierre LeBrun and the insider table. But then there's the back table, right? Craig Button's laughing it up over there. Cameron Gauntz will be there.
Yep.
Do you like Cameron Gauntz? And do you like the name of when Cameron Gauntz is on, you don't know what you got till it's Gauntz?
It's clever. It screams predictably. It's
So somebody stopped me and said they thought you were laughing harder in the last This Is Wrestling than you were the previous time when I've never heard you laugh like you had a few episodes ago. But somebody said that you were laughing as harder last episode. I'm like, I know he was laughing. You weren't laughing harder, were you?
I thought that was equal to less. Although I will say during the Danhausen segment, I did sense some tears in my eyes as I was talking about him being booed. And I was like, that was what popped me. It's like, it's one of those deals. I wasn't expecting it at the time when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I was like, Danhausen, he came out of the box. Then you're just describing it, right? And then you realize you're describing it for the first time. And you're like, this is real. So ridiculous what I'm saying right now. And I'm like, so there's this plume of smoke that popped up, then the lights went out, and the crowd booed.
And people booed.
Yeah. I did. I don't know if you noticed though. Got a bunch of people, because I think you said at the end, you were like, God, hopefully people are actually still here at like 2:13 or whatever we were into the show. I got a bunch of people I don't know about you that reached out. I was like, oh yeah, I listened to the end.
Yeah. No, I got a couple like, what do I get? Because they said, oh, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. And then I gave you the stuff, and people were still asking, like, what's the stuff? I'm like, that was the stuff.
It was like all this content that's coming up. Like, you know,
like I know it was crazy that people tuned in that long.
I was happy with it. The downloads also show that too. I don't know if you've seen it recently. I was like, wow, people were really tuned in. People wanted to hear us talk about the
WrestleMania season, baby.
Yeah.
It's WrestleMania season.
That's right. No more Road Dogg jokes, unfortunately. So
Tanner says, I did enjoy Friedman breaking Marchand last year.
Yeah. That was a good little TV moment, and Biz was
not happy.
Leafs fan breaking down at the desk.
Not happy.
Not a happy camper.
It's nasty.
No.
But yeah, I will not be watching. You have a real job and then a game tomorrow night. But I'll tell people that if the Ottawa Senators do something of significance tonight, they get Warren Fogle and trade David Perron. So they trade a second round pick, exchange some thirds to get Warren Fogle from the LA Kings, and then they get a conditional fourth round pick, could be a third. David Perron goes to the Detroit Red Wings. If they do something significant tomorrow, we'll be back on here and do a little something. And if not, then Saturday. It's a late one again, Zach.
Yeah.
Another even later. It's even later than this one.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you can't get me on the late one for Saturday because I've got a wrestling booking this Saturday. So,
yes, Zach, your wrestling booking is in Ottawa.
That's right, Acclaim Pro Wrestling.
Yes. And by the time that show ends, you'll have plenty of time to get to Ashton, and think about the time change.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like lose the hour. Let's go. We're going to wake up with people Sunday morning.
Yeah. In the spirit of the WWE, I will run into your house in the middle of the broadcast. I'll come in with a mask and I'll do a big unveil. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's exactly given here.
You'll be the 22nd person, right? The WWE that's coming in a black mask.
And the chat's like, oh, it's Zach. Okay, he's usually here. I mean,
Zach, 21 people in black masks. The 17th time.
More shocking than the last.
Guys, I got an idea. We should do the black mask thing again. Great idea.
That's brilliant. I got to tell Cody Rhodes about this. He's got to know.
Zach will come in. He'll have 15 women dressed up in Danhausen outfits coming up. There'll be a choreographed routine.
Yeah, there'll be a little smoke that pops up when I walk in.
Oh, you'll get in, you'll dance. There'll be a choreographed routine. I'll be wondering what's going on.
And I'll put it beside your desk. And
yeah. Okay, so Ottawa Saturday night. That's their next game in Seattle. Will be a tough game, but boy, they win that. They're in good shape. They got Vancouver on Monday. Only 4 points back of a playoff spot, and I've already shipped somebody out and David Perron and brought Warren Fogle in. So we've had a little movement, and everything on the scoreboard pretty much worked out for Ottawa tonight. Like
good night for the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah. They got a lot of help on the scoreboard, and they took care of business in Calgary. So thanks very much, Zach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Tanner for staying up as well. Ooh, he wants one more. I think we need it.
I'll try and do it.
Go ahead, Zach.
Loudly, though.
Yeah, not too loudly.
Secretly, you don't know if I'm going to show up. If I'm going to show up, I don't know. You're going to have to find out on the next This Is Overtime. Ooh, I don't know. I am the game. It's all about the game and how you play it.
Ooh, I got a secret.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. Also, quick plug, Zach. Quick plug. Ottawa Survivor comes out Sunday morning.
Right. I am looking forward to it. Oh, you got a secret, Lee. You're not telling anybody what's going on with Survivor.
Survivor? Who knows? Did I come 7th? Did I come 2nd? Did I win? Did I come last?
You're gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to find out.
You'll be able to check it out on This Is OSN. But Sunday morning, Ottawa Survivor 2. Lever Sage is a contestant. Like, come on.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
I mean, how can she be? Forget the hour time change. Well, we'll just watch it right after the post game. We'll never go to bed.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just be here.
It'll be great.
Hour 4.
Yeah.
I'm watching Lever Sage take part in Survivor Ottawa at 2 a.m.
Oh, no, it's not released till 9 a.m.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got some time to work with then.
All right. Thanks very much, Zach. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody. This has been good. And for Ottawa, I think tonight is a night that you're going to look back on and say, if they made it, that this is a pretty important day. I know it wasn't like a big, like they didn't play incredibly well or do anything that fancy, but they got a lot of help on the scoreboard. They made a couple of deals and they got within 4 points a day before the trade deadline, which might make them do a couple of more things tomorrow. This might be a day you look back on and go, okay, this was a day that, the Ottawa Senators needed to take a step to get towards the playoffs. They're only 4 points back of a playoff spot right now.
Yeah. You come away with it with a lot of confidence of they can make a run here. And obviously other things have to fall in place with the way the East is going this year, but I'm coming out of this game, and I know I didn't love everything with the Warren Foegele trade, but you kind of look at everything going on. It's like the pieces are in place, so we'll see where it goes from there.
The Ottawa Senators have only one regulation loss since January the 24th, and that game was in Carolina. Quite frankly, a game they should have won if James Reimer didn't play.
Yeah.
Like, they were the better team, and they are 7-1-2 in their last 10. And that's the only regulation loss they have. And they should have won the game. It's not like they got blown out or even had. So this team's playing really well. And I think that's the point, more than being 4 points back, is that they're playing really well. And now are going to believe themselves that they're close enough to be able to get there. And that's the selling point. So we'll leave you with that. For Zach McGibbon, I'm Lever Sage. Thanks for being with us. This is Overtime on OSN.